welcome back, everybody. It's Sarcasm Speaks, Jared, Bob, coming at you in the daylight, finally. It's typically, well, now it's just the Wednesday shows we get daylight because the world sucks and daylight savings blows, and we couldn't even get that done.
We're actually out of daylight savings. This is regular time.
Yeah, well, regular time blows.
Yes.
We couldn't even get that done. Remember, they were trying to push that through. Massachusetts legislation was trying to push through the daylight savings thing to keep it lighter, darker, lighter, later, and darker earlier, like the whole time change thing. And then we were bitching here, like, oh, we'll do this, but we can't get fucking sports betting. And it turns out we couldn't even do daylight savings either.
Yeah, no, they weren't going to be able to do that.
So we were talk about being completely useless. Like, I don't even know what the point of having politicians anymore is, but.
Well, you know what they can do? Big Dig 2.0.
Yeah? Are they starting that?
Yep. Alston and Cambridge.
Sick. So, we got that to look forward to for the next 20 years. Is that how long the Big Dig took? 20 years?
They said 10. So
20.
Automatically double.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't want to say never, but I almost never have to drive through Alston and Brighton.
Dude, I really never have to. Like, I am never on the Mass Pike. Last time I was on the Mass Pike is I played a golf tournament in Wayland.
Yep.
And we went to a bar, which actually I forgot bars existed. We went to a bar in Alston or Brighton after. And that's the last time I was on the Mass Pike. That was probably 3 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, I try and avoid the Pike.
And even if I do need to take the Pike now, I won't be going towards Alston and Brighton.
Yeah.
Like, there could be something like, hey, there's a free $1 million in Alston and Brighton, and I would still weigh my options as to not going.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That place blows.
I mean, I probably still would, but...
Yeah. It's like, it's impossible to get
$3 million, but where am I going to park?
Yeah, there's no parking anywhere. It's like, oh, it sucks.
Well, especially with Alston and Brighton, my only memories of that place is treating it like a giant garbage can. Like when I went, so because obviously when you're in, obviously there's nothing in Austin except drunk college kids.
Yep.
So every time I've been there, I've been a drunk college kid basically.
Yeah.
And it would just be like one of those things like, oh, do you like walk down the street drinking a beer? Nowhere in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
I
Can't speak yet today.
Need more caffeine.
I definitely don't need more caffeine. I need fucking, like I was telling you earlier, my piss looked like a fucking bottle of bourbon this morning, so I need fucking hydration, which hopefully Liquid IV is going to provide for me.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll provide us a sponsorship.
Yeah. Shout out to Liquid IV, but, hey.
But that's all you're getting.
We already asked.
That's your only free plug.
They kindly declined. But they gave us some cool stuff. Like, if you're watching on the YouTube show, you can see the cool little bottle we got right here.
Which actually is more interesting that they gave us a bunch of free shit, but didn't say, like, hey, we'll give you, like, 10% off.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally said that their podcast sponsorships were booked out, but we can send you this free shit instead.
I wonder if you just directly ask for a promo code, not a sponsorship.
Yeah. Because
I think sponsorship-wise, they're probably looking at, like, cutting a check.
Yeah, probably.
Or an affiliate program.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still looking for another affiliate program. I might send out a poll on the Instagram story. That's the word I was looking for. I see what people actually want, like what they would actually use, like a promo code for. Because I don't want to like get something and then have them be like, yeah, we're not even going to use that.
We have a promo code, 25% off your next sex toy purchase.
Yeah. Adam and Eve.
I know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy.
Did you ever play with him?
I don't think so.
You would. So. The fact that you hesitated, you would know if you played with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the only thing I think of in Austin is just like fucking smashing bottles, leaving beer cans, like puking on the side of the road.
What's the
like
bar?
Eating food and just throwing it on the ground. Like,
is it Lulu's or Lucy's? No,
I've only been.
Lucy's is in Dorchester.
I've only been to house parties in Austin. And then it's like, it's a house party that I got invited to and I don't know anybody there. So then it's like I start fucking up their house. Like,
oh, we went to that fancy house party once. Remember that? Before...
probably wasn't there.
No, it was before the comedy show. We met Derek.
Oh yeah, but I was
That
like,
was like that
28 years old.
That was Brighton.
That was Brighton, and I was like 28. I'm talking like
Yeah.
back when I was roaming the streets.
Yeah, we get some actually some shit going on in the news now that doesn't make me angry. There's still something that makes me angry. We'll get to that.
I got plenty that makes me angry.
But do you remember? I think we talked about him on the show. But do you remember? What's his face? Deandre Baker.
Yes.
So for those of you that don't know, Deandre Baker was a first-round draft pick. Was a corner by the New York Football Giants. He was arrested with Quentin Dunbar, who was another cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, June-ish?
I don't even know anymore.
May, June, I don't know. Time it all blends together. But they were arrested on charges of aggravated assault and robbery, burglary. I don't know what the proper term is, but
Might have been both.
yeah. So, according to the original arrest warrant, here it is, in Florida, Baker and Seattle Seahawks cornerback Quentin Dunbar were accused of stealing money and watches while armed with a semi-automatic firearm. All that is like a pistol. Like, not a revolver. So, there you go. There's your swing right there on ESPN.com. Semi-automatic firearms.
They didn't bring their muskets with them?
Yeah, no, they had guns. And it wasn't a revolver. Cool. Gotta make it sound scary. The warrant stated that Baker intentionally threatened victims with a firearm. Prosecutors declined to file criminal charges against Dunbar because of insufficient evidence, but decided to proceed on Baker on August 5th. All right, so yeah, this was like summertime. Well, the charges were dropped recently. All charges were dropped in the case by the prosecution, not by the judge. So the prosecution decided to drop all charges against these guys because in this ESPN article it says, quote, "The alleged victims and the known witnesses have become uncooperative and their credibility is inalterably tarnished," end quote. Well, what I heard on the radio yesterday...
The lawyer was extorting him.
Yep. The lawyer was trying to extort Deandre Baker.
That sounds like a definite countersuit.
Yep. So this thing turned into an absolute shit show, and now Deandre Baker is free. Which, the entire time, Deandre Baker... I mean, hey... Find me a guy that gets arrested that says he didn't do it. Find me a guy that gets arrested and doesn't say he didn't do it. That's what I wanted to say. And I don't know, I'll get you a fucking pony or something. Because everyone that gets arrested says they didn't do it. But the entire time, Deandre Baker has been insistent that he didn't actually do anything and that he was being set up or whatever. But now he turns out he was being extorted, and so they threw out the case. So now he's coming back into the league. And do you know who is ready to sign him?
Yep, Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. Yep.
Model organization.
Yeah.
Which again, he didn't do anything wrong, so some people are like, they're bashing the Chiefs for their past and signing this guy, but he didn't do anything wrong. He was found not to do anything wrong.
Yeah, well, they threw out the case. So technically that's like a push. You didn't win, but you didn't lose either.
Yeah, this is the fucking world we live in now. He wasn't convicted of any charges, and now people are still saying he still did it. How the fuck do you know that?
Yeah.
And with whether he did or not, it's irrelevant. He's not in fucking trouble for it.
Right.
And he's probably gonna end up making out on it by suing the fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
But no, that's the fucking society we live in now. It's...
Well, I mean, this is an extreme example, but you can go back to the OJ thing. OJ got it thrown out, but like, he did it, but he didn't do it. Like, shit like that happens. Like, you can get cases like tossed, or everything can get thrown out on a technicality, like the glove didn't fit. You know, like little shit like that. Like it happens all the time. I'm sure Sexy Chris probably has plenty of examples where someone clearly has done something wrong, but they get off on a technicality.
So I'll give you with the OJ trial, that was public though.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck happened here.
No, we don't.
But everyone's a fucking expert. Must be nice.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, the difference between the court of public opinion and then, like, the actual legal court system.
Yeah, and then it's like, so everyone's like crushing the Chiefs for, you know, getting yet another criminal, which, again, you don't know if he's a criminal.
Right.
Might not be.
Right. I mean, the fact that he was even involved in that sort of situation doesn't bode well to begin with. But, so they have Tyreek Hill, who beats up his kid. Chris Jones beats up his girlfriend, right?
Does he?
I thought maybe. Allegedly. I have to say, make sure I say allegedly. I don't know. I also have no idea. I might be making that up. I thought he was in trouble for something.
Chris Jones?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
They had Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, who beat up his girlfriend or just a female in that hotel.
Yes.
I don't know if they were actually dating or if it was just like a friend or something. Friend. He just threw her to the ground.
Friend at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Kicking her in the head.
Yep.
Javon Belcher killed himself in the parking lot.
Yep.
Andy Reid's kid fucking killed himself when a meth lab blew up, right? No. Oh, he's just in jail forever?
No, he's dead. Pretty sure.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Well, did he have the meth lab in the basement that blew up?
I don't know about that. I knew that he was dead, but I didn't know. Oh, it was an accidental heroin overdose.
Okay. Who had Who had the meth lab in the basement?
Walter White.
No, I can't fucking. Maybe it wasn't a meth lab, but they definitely got arrested before the other one died. There was a problem with drugs in the house. Fuck. I could have sworn someone fucking blew up a meth lab in the basement. I don't know why the fuck I would make that up.
Well, they had Frank Clark, right? No, they have Frank Clark now.
Yeah.
Frank Clark, not a good guy.
What did he do?
He beat someone up, I think. Let me type in Frank Clark. What should I write? Arrested? Yeah, officer describes violent scene in Frank Clark's hotel room. Mugshot reaction. I think it was a DV situation. Yeah, domestic dispute. So he's another girlfriend guy.
Well, either way, with DeAndre Baker, the thing I look at now is they're just taking everyone.
Yeah.
Like signing everyone on like a 1 year minimum deal.
Yeah, I mean they're just trying to win.
Sounds like kind of someone I used to know.
Yeah. They're just trying to win Super Bowls right now. Because they still have, even though they signed Pat Mahomes to that massive contract, it hasn't kicked in yet. So they're
still cheap.
They still have money available. So I don't blame them. You know, because then eventually they're going to have that issue when they're paying their quarterback fucking $50 million a year. Well, you're not going to be able to bring in other guys like that want the money. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, they probably, I don't know, they could win the Super Bowl again this year. I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, they always have a chance with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Has anyone won back-to-back since 02-03?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so, yeah.
I mean, with that, like, that's the thing is that, like, they're always going to have a chance because they can straight up go out there and beat anybody.
Yeah.
The only problem is their defense needs to play well.
Right.
Because they can get gashed pretty easily.
Yeah, their defense isn't awesome, but, you know, it's good enough.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that was funny that DeAndre Baker was back in the league and got off on a technicality. The other football-related thing, this is hilarious, actually. I heard this on Felger and Maz yesterday on Sports Hub. Antonio Brown back in the news. Before he signed with Tampa Bay, everyone knows his deal. He's been on probation. He's been all fucked up. He's all got kicked out of the NFL, whatever. They finally got him back in the NFL. Tom Brady fucking wanted him because he's his binky, and Brady's a bitch and all this shit. And so he signs with Tampa Bay, and it just comes out that whenever before he signed with Tampa Bay, there is footage of him in I don't know if it's the place where he lives, but it's some gated community, and he smashes a security camera and throws a bicycle like across the fucking street or something. Which, under normal circumstances, is like, whatever, maybe you just pay for the camera and then whatever, it's a bike. Like maybe you fix the bike if something's dented. Like, it's not a big deal. Like really in the grand scheme of life, like flipping out and smashing a security camera and throwing a bicycle across the street doesn't really move the needle. However, when you're Antonio Brown and you have a lengthy rap sheet, especially in the last 12 to 18 months, and you're on probation, this could create a potential problem. So Felger and Maz was having a lot of fun with this. They had Greg Bedard on the show yesterday, and they played the over/under game of how many games Antonio Brown will play for the rest of the season, and they set the over/under at 2. Jim Murray said the over, he's going to play out. There's not going to be a problem. Bedard took the over, but only at 4. And then Felger and Maz are both on the under. They think this guy's done. They think that the NFL is going to step in and be like, you're done. Like whether or not legal things actually happen, it doesn't matter. Like they think that Goodell is going to come down and be like, buddy, like what are you doing? We've given you 6 fucking chances at this. And now, yeah, this isn't a big deal, but this is your fucking 7th strike. So you're done.
He just really hates paying people and loves destroying property.
Yeah. But then, so they were talking about the whole reason why this was an issue in the first place is because I think whatever gated community he lives in was having issues with him bringing people in that they weren't happy about, or he was doing something where specifically for him, they have a special procedure for him to bring guests in. And he wanted to bring this guest, one of his friends or entourage or somebody in, and they wouldn't let him. They said, no, he can't come in. So that's what led to him throwing a bike across the street and smashing a security camera. So there's already a problem where like a gated community has to like screen who you're bringing in. So I don't know. That's that. I don't know what I think the NFL will do because it isn't that big of a deal. I wouldn't be surprised if.
Well, remember, he hates paying people. So when they send him a bill for the fucking damage, he's probably not going to pay that.
Yeah. Yeah, which will then lead to a civil suit.
Yep.
He doesn't want to pay people, but apparently he's okay with paying lawyers.
Well, he probably doesn't know he's paying the lawyers.
Yeah.
They probably just take the money from him.
Yeah. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Goodell came down and suspended him again. But I don't know. I also wouldn't. I could see it going either way. I wouldn't be surprised if they let this year run out and then suspend him maybe for a couple games next year. I don't know. But I think he will get suspended at least 1 game by the NFL. But I think once the process plays out, we'll know a little bit more.
He also might just get cut before.
Yeah, that would really piss Brady off.
Dude, he's not doing anything for that team.
No. Besides taking away looks from Godwin.
No, I actually don't think he even is. I think he's just really not playing that much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many snaps he got, but
yeah.
Arians also already said, he goes, he's playing. I want him on the field less.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they were talking about that too. The contention between Brady and Arians that Bruce Arians is saying like, well, at the very like back in March, he was like, yeah, he just doesn't fit on the team, and then Brady bitches and complains, and then gets him on the team, and now Brady wants him on the field, and Arians is like, nah, he's gonna be on the field less. So
Yeah. He goes, I want less snaps for him.
yeah, so that's gonna be fucking wonderful. Do you want to talk about the wonderful Hall of Fame ballot?
Yeah. Yeah, put it down. Let me pull it up. I just thought it was interesting that obviously we know like the baseball writers are pretentious fucking cunts.
Yes.
So on the Hall of Fame ballot, and this is still well within my knowledge of who these players are. So we're talking about an association that will not put in Clemens and Bonds.
Right.
So you are now left with some of these highlights. Bobby Abreu, AJ Burnett, Michael Kadire, Dan Harron, Nick Swisher, Shane Victorino.
Nice.
Those people are being so obviously I cherry picked the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
There's some people that would definitely fit the hall of very good, which is what it has become now.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they can choose like Mark Burley. Are you shitting me? LaTroy Hawkins.
Yeah.
He's just a reliever for a really long time.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at this, none of these guys are like fucking Hall of Fame.
Right.
So even some of the best, so Barry Zito and Tim Hudson, they were like really good, but like
not Hall of Fame.
Part-time too.
Yeah.
Like
Barry Zito was a Hall of Fame caliber pitcher for like maybe 3 years.
In Oakland.
Yeah. He played what, 12-ish years?
Dude, I bet you he played a long time.
Let's just say, let's say he played 14 years. He was Hall of Fame for 3. If he was Hall of Fame or really fucking good for like 6, then maybe. But like, you can't put a guy in the Hall of Fame because he had 3 great years out of his 14-year career.
So in 15 seasons,
Yep.
he has 3 All-Star appearances.
Yep. There you go. He had the 3 really good seasons.
02, 03, 06.
That's the time when he was on the A's.
Yep. And 1 Cy Young, 2002.
Yep.
Which was his 3rd year. Like, we're considering this guy. I mean, and that's the thing. Is like I know we won't get in. And I know you have more names on the ballot than you need. But like even Tim Hudson always hurt.
Yep.
But we're not going to put in Kurt Schilling. We're not going to put in Clemens, and we're not going to put in Bonds.
Right. Schilling, Clemens, Bonds, all 3 of those guys should be the Hall of Famers this year.
Yeah, and you're not, like Sosa, you're not going to consider him either.
Yeah.
It's like all because these guys are juicing. What the fuck do you think like Manny was doing?
Right. Everyone was juicing.
So, and then it's like even like Gary Sheffield, like fine player.
Right.
Wouldn't consider him a Hall of Famer.
No. Played for a really long time and hit a lot of home runs.
Omar Vizquel.
He's gonna get in.
No way.
I mark it right now. Timestamp. It's November 18th at 8:50 a.m. Omar Vizquel is going to be elected into the Hall of Fame this year.
Well, I'll just go back and look and see what his percentages were.
They're gonna put that asshole in because someone has to get the votes, and they're not gonna give it to Bonds or Clemens. For some reason, people don't like Kurt Schilling, probably because of his political leanings. And fuck you if that's the whole reason why you're gonna leave Kurt Schilling out of the Hall of Fame because he wasn't nice to you during interviews and because he voted for a guy that you don't like. Fuck off. Kurt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. But they probably won't give him the votes. Maybe he might eke in this year, but they're not going to give their votes to Bonds. They're not going to give their votes to Clemens. They really going to vote for Bobby Abreu? Like, are they really going to vote for Tim Hudson? Omar Vizquel is going to be in the MLB Hall of Fame this year, and they're going to say, Well, he was amazing defense. He changed the game at shortstop. He was an amazing defender.
He was probably the 5th best shortstop while he played.
Yeah.
He won't get in. He only got 52% of the vote last year. He needs to jump 23%.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening.
Imagine if no one gets in.
No one should. If it's not going to be Bonds, Clemens, Schilling, no one should.
Yeah.
No one should. I mean, dude, Dan Herron. Dan fucking Herron.
Yeah.
Dan Herron.
I will say though, those the early 2000s Oakland A's were really fucking good to never win the World Series.
To never win a playoff series. They never got out of the divisional round.
They had Tim Hudson, Dan Herron, and Barry Zito.
No,
And
so
Mark Mulder. Dan Herron came a little bit later, but
it was Mulder, Zito, Hudson.
yeah.
Then Rich Harden came later and Dan Herron came later.
Yeah. So, I mean, those teams were really good.
Dan Herron, 3-time All-Star. 07, 08, 09.
Yeah. They also had, was it Eric Chavez?
Tejada.
Yep, Miguel Tejada. They had I remember, I think we pulled it up on the show once.
Jermaine Dye.
That 2003 Oakland A's team was fucking unbelievable. And they couldn't do anything. How's your money ball working for you? So
Dan fucking Herron. We're considering Dan Herron.
yeah. I mean, I think we're in agreement. Like, if it's not Schilling, Bonds, Clemens, then it shouldn't be anybody.
Dan Herron. That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
And the only reason I even remember Dan Herron is because I used to have his rookie cards because I thought he was going to be good, and then he just kind of wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So bad.
So, yesterday? 2 days ago, whenever it was, I was watching the Dave Smith episode on Joe Rogan, which, shout out to Sexy Chris, who sent the recommendation. Actually ended up being a really good fucking episode. So Dave Smith is a comedian based out of New York. He's part of the Legion of Skanks. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, their podcast, but they're pretty big. Very intelligent, very well spoken. And so him and Rogan were going on. And the one thing that stood out to me, they were talking about like the lockdowns and like coronavirus and all this shit. And like how things could be different. And surprisingly, like I said, very intelligent. I don't know why sometimes I'm surprised when comedians come off as like very smart, because you have to be pretty smart to be a good comedian anyway. Like you have to be able to understand things. So yeah, I shame on me, I guess, for being surprised that he was that intelligent. But one of the things they were talking about that stood out to me is when he was talking about the governors. Each governor of individual states, and how they've kind of acquired this power without anyone actually realizing. So the quote that he said, to paraphrase, was, "Now every day we sit in front of the TV and look to see what our governor tells us we can do today." And it's like, now all of a sudden the governors are the ones with the like a lot of power over their states and the people that are there. And he said that they're probably not going to give up that power.
No way.
No way. And that's what happens. Like if you give anybody more power, they're never going to give it up. Especially people, it takes a certain, you have to think too, it takes a certain kind of person to want to get into politics and want to get to that point of being a governor, senator, congressman, fucking vice president, president, cabinet. It takes a certain kind of person that wants to get to that point. It's people that want power. Like you want to be that.
Massive pieces of shit.
Yeah, all politicians suck. So you got this guy who's the governors, or guys, women, all of them, governors of all these states, and now they've been given this power where literally, like day to day, they can just change whatever they want. Chucky Bright Lights can get on the fucking TV and say, well, you know what, today we're gonna close liquor stores at 9:30, starting today. What? Now all of a sudden you're not allowed to have any more than 2 people in your house. What? Like they just literally make shit up. Gavin Newsom tells you to wear a mask at a restaurant in between bites of food. Yeah, you know, like they can literally say whatever the fuck they want, and then people like will follow, and they're like, oh wow, I can kind of do whatever I want. So it's unsettling for someone like me that doesn't like government or doesn't like big government. I'm not an anarchist, so I'm gonna be careful when I say that. I don't like big government. I think government's job is to provide regulations for like certain things and protect the people and serve the people, not serve their own interests, which is whatever, fuck them. That's a whole hour-long fucking rant I can go on. But so they started talking about this. I heard this. They originally were talking about it on the Sports Hub, and then blended with what we heard on Joe Rogan and all this other shit. They're talking about, you know, obviously it seems like President-elect Joe Biden is about to become president in January, and they said that he would institute another lockdown between 4 to 6 weeks. They're saying 2 to 3 months. So anywhere between, what would that be, 4 and 8 weeks? 3 months, 3 months. 12 weeks. Sick. That would be awesome. And then the thing that popped into my head was, well, one, I think you're going to have a very difficult time shutting this country down again if you do. People potentially could revolt.
People are too soft.
Yeah,
everyone in Massachusetts is ready to just fucking bend over and take it. So what do you think that says about New York and California?
I mean, not a lot of people that I talk to. There's a lot of people that are like, dude, this is fucking bullshit. Like, there's no, we're done with this. We need to move on.
Then it's probably split 50-50, because
maybe people around here, because people in Easton are fucking giant vaginas.
Just people are so fucking soft.
But there's a lot of people I've talked to, more our age. Like I've talked to a lot of people like closer to our age that is like, dude, we're done with this. We're done. But I think the sentiment around the country is that people are finally starting to realize that like this thing isn't that bad. It's not killing people anymore, and we also can't like literally afford to close. Like the country's economy would fucking crumble. Like we saw how bad everything got in fucking June and May and April. Like we literally had to give out money to people so they could like survive. Like that's not good. Like you don't want that. You don't want to get back to that point either. So I thought of this. What happens if, and this is what could really be the straw that broke the camel's back. What happens if Biden gets gets inaugurated in January, and shortly thereafter, you know, maybe a week or two, maybe even less, he comes out and says, he puts out a national mask mandate where everyone has to wear a mask all the time, at all times, and we're going to go into lockdown again to beat this virus. Well, the inauguration's on January 20th. Do you know what typically happens around the second week of February? Super Bowl. If we go into a national lockdown, the Super Bowl might be in jeopardy. They might not play the Super Bowl. And if you want to see, people revolt, if there was ever going to be a thing, and this is hilarious that we're living in this part of time. Like, I wish I could fast forward like 50 to 100 years right now and look at like the history books and read about this. That, oh, dude, how did the Second Civil War start in the United States? Oh, they canceled the Super Bowl. Well, how did the First Civil War start? Well, there was a lot of unrest between, cotton production and slavery and different ways that people wanted to be taxed and things like that. It was very complex. Like there was a lot going on. Oh yeah, okay, I can see that. Well, how'd the second one start? Oh, they canceled football. They canceled the Super Bowl. Like I think if they cancel the Super Bowl, there might be some shit. Like there might actually be some shit.
That's an outrageous take because the lockdown will just come later. It's not going to come first day he's in there.
No, I'm saying if they cancel the Super Bowl. If this lockdown comes immediately after he gets inaugurated and they cancel the Super Bowl, people will flip the fuck out. They will lose their shit.
Well, that's all I'm saying is we're lucky because it's not going to come that quick. Nothing can come that quick.
Ferociously hammer, lockdown comes January 21st.
Then ferociously hammer Super Bowl will happen.
Yeah.
For two of the both biggest jinxes out there.
Yeah, that's fair. I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting point. It's going to be really, I guess funny is one way to say it, to watch how this all unravels. But, I mean, depending on who you talk to, I mean, Trump might still win.
Well, according to some people you talk to, he's still definitely going to win.
Yeah. There was one, I don't know if I said this on air, just in person, but there was one district in Michigan that when they went and did a recount, it flipped from Democrat to Republican, and everyone is fucking screenshotting it and like posting on Instagram and being like, oh, this is fucking, look at this is proof. Like, well proof of what? It's not proof per se of voter fraud across the entire country. It's proof that one district in Michigan counted wrong. Well, once you start finding other districts that counted wrong, okay, cool. Then you can make the claim that there's something fishy going on. But like one district in Michigan does not apply to the entire country. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like all you voter fraud people. Well, hey, you're right. There is voter. Someone just got convicted of tampering with the election.
Oh, really?
But like it's one individual. I don't know who. I didn't save the article or anything.
Yeah.
It's like one individual in one place. It doesn't change the election. So hey, you know what, guys? Take your victory lap. You're right. There was voter fraud. But it hasn't changed the results.
Yeah. So the other issue too with the whole like the governor thing with all the too much power is now they're coming after Thanksgiving. So there have been a bunch of governors across the country that have already tried to cancel Thanksgiving. Like, for one, where is this guy? Governor Jay Inslee, who is the governor of the fine Washington State.
Oh, they're in lockdown now.
That governor has literally come out and said Thanksgiving is canceled. What? I didn't know you could do that. I didn't think governors could do that. I didn't think the government could tell you when you could not celebrate a holiday.
Well, when you, as a people, decide to just let them just follow whatever they say and do whatever they tell you, they can. In Washington State, you just listen to whatever. Same thing here. Everyone just listens.
Yeah.
Does anybody not wear a mask in a store anywhere?
No.
Does anybody not, like, are we going to see, like, a fucking massive party after 10 o'clock here?
I mean, you could.
Are we going to, like, when I say see, I mean, like, visible, very apparent. No, they're going to hide it.
Yeah.
Everyone just does whatever we're told. Just do whatever you're told. Don't want to get in trouble. So in Washington State, yeah, you can cancel Thanksgiving because everyone just listens.
Because they're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah. But that's what everyone is. It's not fucking gun-wielding Texas. Like that, but that's the thing is, like, you know, like, this shit isn't happening where the people will stand up for themselves.
And also, not to get, like, uber political about this, but it's also not happening in traditionally conservative states.
Well, again, it could
it's
be a
all-
little chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Is it not happening in conservative states because those guys won't listen? Or is it not happening in conservative states because they know their people?
Right.
Or because it's not happening in conservative states, those people are more like, it's like,
Yeah.
what leads to one or the other?
Right. And are the typically more liberal states doing this to create more unrest and chaos and things like that? I don't like.
No, I genuinely think it's because the people will just take it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they're creating more chaos and they're artificially inflating this issue. Is what I'm saying too.
Oh, they're definitely lying to us.
Yeah. But I don't think it's funny. So like looking down. So I just typed in the Google machine, governor cancels Thanksgiving, and a bunch of things pop up. One of the first articles is how Washington Governor Jay Inslee stole Thanksgiving. It's Christmas next. So Jay Inslee,
Probably.
he already canceled Thanksgiving in the state of Washington. There's another article from the Associated Press that says governors ratchet up restrictions ahead of Thanksgiving. So as you scroll down here, you're seeing all of these things. So we have Washington State, we have Governor Cuomo, who is prohibiting gatherings larger than 10 people in New York State. So we have Thanksgiving during COVID-19 advisory on mass.gov. So Rhode Island, we have Rhode Island governor urges residents to alter Thanksgiving plans. So all of this, we have Washington State, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. And then California has never not been in lockdown. So
in California, they even said Thanksgiving's outdoors only.
yeah, so you have 5 of the bluest states in the country that have put something in place about a holiday. They are now trying to tell us how we can or can't celebrate holidays. And because it's being put into law by governors, whether or not the law would actually stand, whether it's executive order, whatever, I don't want to get into that legal bullshit, but because it's being put forth by these governors, we're having companies in these states act according to law, essentially, because they have to, because they're businesses that happen in the country. So, for example, the place I work just sent out a memo the other day and said, you shouldn't be traveling for Thanksgiving. And if you do, you have to provide proof that you're COVID-free or all this bullshit. Like, there was this whole big thing. And I looked at that, and everyone, or most people, is flipping out that I work with. This is fucking stupid. I can't believe this. What am I? I'm not supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving. And I go, I don't know. It's when you guys, this is what happens. This is what happens.
Yeah, when COVID.
Back in April, when all of you dickheads were calling me a dickhead for not wanting to wear a mask and wanting to have my freedom, well, now this is what we got. And this is, what's the thing? What's that called? Adage? The adage where, obviously this was talking about the Nazis, which is a totally different situation, but it's similar in this line where first they came for the Jews and I wasn't a Jew, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for the gypsies and I wasn't a gypsy, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for the Protestants or Catholics or whoever, and I wasn't one of those, so I didn't say anything. And then by the time they came for me, no one was left to stand up. This is what happened. First they came and put in the mask mandate, and it didn't affect my life, so I didn't say anything. Or I wanted to preserve life. I wanted to save grandmas, so I supported it. And then they locked down the state for 2 months, and I wanted to protect other people, so I went along with it. And now here we are in November, and they're telling us that we can't celebrate holidays anymore, and we can't get together with our family. And now people are pissed. Well, now's not the time to get fucking pissed, you stupid fucks.
You missed
The
it.
time to get pissed was back in fucking May, when we were pissed, and when a lot of other people were pissed. But we were all labeled fucking assholes.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily wrong, but we're also turning out to be fucking right now.
Exactly. So excuse me while I take my fucking victory lap.
What can we what can we do to like combat this? Is there anything?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I would love to know if there are any old laws somewhere that someone could pull up, like if they were like a business owner or something, or there's got to be something somewhere that protects. I mean, it's the fucking United States. Like, somewhere it's written we have protections against fucking government. This entire country was founded on the fact that we wanted government for the people, by the people. Like, the framers were terrified of monarchies and absolute power in governments. The whole reason that our government was constructed the way it was done to prevent this. and what's happening. And if things don't change, what's going to happen in the next couple of years as this inevitably gets worse. There has to be something somewhere, and I'm not fucking smart enough because I don't know legal stuff and I don't know constitutions and stuff like that. But there has to be something somewhere that's going to be able to stop this. And I mean, it's one of those things where it's going to take that gym owner from New Jersey to just say, fuck you. Like, it takes a lot to want to go toe to toe with the government because the government has literally endless money. But I don't know. I don't know what happens. What is the breaking point? And then what happens at that breaking point? Is it a full-on civil war? Is it something else? I've also heard that, so there's these new apps that are popping up. It's called Parler and Rumble. I don't know if you've heard of them at all.
No.
But Parler is essentially like it's like a blend between. It's probably more closely to a Twitter, but it's kind of like a blend between a Twitter and an Instagram, with like 75% Twitter in there. But the whole thing when it was created was censor free. Like, we're not, because everyone knows that Twitter and Instagram and Facebook are very left leaning.
Yep.
And they censor everything now. They put the little fucking thing on the bottom of any political thing that says Joe Biden is which is funny because Donald Trump made a post on Instagram about Veterans Day. Had nothing to do with the election. It was like him putting a wreath on something. Maybe, I don't know. He was talking, his post was about Veterans Day. And Instagram put the little bottom thing on that says, Joe Biden has been declared the president-elect. Like, he's not talking about the election, which I grant, 99% of the time when he posts something, it is talking about the election.
Yeah.
But, like, he's talking about Veterans Day, guys. Like, can we at least let him have Veterans Day? He's the commander-in-chief. And it's a day that we're supposed to celebrate all of the people that fought to get us to this point, even though we might not enjoy this point, but it could have been a lot worse a lot sooner if it wasn't for them. And it's like, it's mind-boggling to me. But anyway, so this Parler app is popping up. So originally it started out as we are down the middle. You can do whatever you want. But because the other apps lean so far left and were censoring people and kicking people off of the app, the right-wing conservative people all went to Parler. So kind of the only people that are on it right now are right-wing. Even though it is a down-the-middle thing. It started to shift more to the right, just because. Because the people on the left aren't going to leave Twitter because they're not having issues. They're being celebrated on Twitter. So the people that are getting kicked off Twitter are going to Parler. And then Rumble is like a YouTube. You just post videos. So I actually I joined both. I created Sarcasm Speaks accounts on both. I haven't really done anything with Rumble. Like, I looked at Parler a little bit here and there. They both look fine, it's whatever. But I'm interested to see how things go. So like when I talked about like a what's the breaking point and then what happens. Obviously the extreme is a civil war. But what if you just kind of start to split like economics? Like, what happens if people actually start voting with their dollar? And what happens if all of the people on the right side just start using Parler and Rumble instead of YouTube and Twitter? And what happens if they only support their businesses? And now what you're doing is you're splitting the economy. And you're creating a liberal economy and a conservative economy. And that is exactly what happened prior to 1865 when we had the first Civil War. So I don't know if civil war is inevitable, but I don't know. Something needs to change. That's all I know is that something needs to change.
I just don't know what to do because if like I don't agree about what's going on, like what do you do about it?
Right. Yeah, I don't know either.
And I know leading up to the election, everyone's answer was vote. We all know that's bullshit.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So, oh, it's a national lockdown. Nah, go vote. For what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for.
ending the lockdown. But that would, you know what? A way to get near 100% voter turnout. Put something about the lockdown on the ballot. You would have gotten 90%. I am positive you would have gotten at least 90% voter turnout in this country if you had put something about the lockdown on the ballot.
Probably. Both ways.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Both ways. It would have been insane.
If I had the option to vote against the lockdown, I probably would have voted.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I most likely would have went.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Something needs to happen. Like I said, maybe I don't know. I know Mike is in law school. Sexy Chris obviously works in law enforcement.
But I even just wonder on like an individual basis, like if I want to fucking like, because the massive problem that I see is if we shut down again, then like I don't know what the fuck to do about the business.
Right.
And then, so if we, like, what am I supposed to do instead? Because that guy in New Jersey is getting fucking railroaded.
Oh, yeah. Like millions of dollars in lawsuits.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so if you don't...
fines and fees.
I mean, I understand that it, like, you can't get, blood from a stone, but it's the government. They can probably find a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know how that necessarily works. So I'm always curious. Like, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, what can we actually do? I don't know.
I don't know.
And if the answer is nothing, then that fucking sucks. That really fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Can I, like, protest by staying open?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, is that like I don't know.
You know what? You know what would be interesting is actually this is an interesting point. The First Amendment in the Constitution protects your right to gather.
For protest. I don't think it protects your right to hang out with a group of people. I think gather is a more formal term.
Yeah, because I know it's freedom of speech or the press, the right of people, or the right of people to peacefully assemble.
Yes. So they can't tell you.
They can't.
The
First Amendment to the Constitution is this: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, I mean, depending on how you want to fucking interpret that, the First Amendment says you can't prohibit people from peacefully assembling.
Yes. As we've seen.
Yeah. But I wonder if there's a way around that. If all these businesses, if we do go into a lockdown, if every day you just have a peaceful protest in the building, and then while you're peacefully protesting, you're working out.
It's one of those things, like, and again, like, someone can interpret it one way, but I am protesting the lockdown by staying open.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to like get a permit, because I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then if Easton denies me a permit, then I can probably sue them.
Yeah.
And I got to imagine a First Amendment lawyer would be fucking very willing to sue a town.
Oh yeah.
Very willing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's good right now. We need First Amendment lawyers.
So is it First Amendment or freedom of speech? I've heard that term before. Like lawyers, and all they do is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But I think there's also First Amendment lawyers. Like all they do is fucking things pertaining to the First Amendment. And right now, business has to be fucking booming.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. There's got to be a way around it. There's got to be something.
Well, because you think about it, and it's like, not every protest is one large event and one given day.
Right.
Like there was in Boston that night.
Right.
Some protests are like think of like a hunger strike.
Yeah.
I'm going on a hunger strike until.
Yep.
Whatever. So I'm opening my gym under peaceful peaceful protest until the lockdown is over. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just want something somewhere. I want someone smart to tell me what to do to help fix this, and then I will do my part.
I might honestly look into that. See what.
Yeah, I mean, it might be worth it. Because they, like I said, like they cannot infringe upon the right to peacefully assemble.
And I don't think. See, I don't know, because it's hard because all I'm doing is operating, but I'm calling it a protest.
Yeah.
But in protest of, I'm operating. Like.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Just put a Black Lives Matter sign in the front, and they'll let you do whatever you want.
I'm gonna fucking tint the windows.
No, I told you what you have to do. You need to take a picture from across the street of every window in the gym and then have an artist paint that window and put it in a box so you get a little bit of depth action going on there. And then encase each window in the box of the painting so it looks like no one's in the gym. That's it. That's all you need to do. Easy. So... yeah, I don't know. This, I try and ignore it all the time because if I thought about this all the time, I would be an absolute fucking lunatic. But the times when I do think about it, it's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, what is going on? I don't know.
I don't either.
Oh, that's what I wrote down. So it's funny. With the whole Parler and Rumble thing, I was like, that when I was saying like, oh, do you think it could take off? Could it turn? Could it split the economies? Whatever. But then, I thought of, I don't know if you remember Vero.
Oh.
Vero was this, like, alternative Instagram that came out last year because everyone hated Instagram because they were getting censored and things like that. So, like, Vero was this one where it was like, oh, yeah, and everyone went on, like, Joe Rogan went on and Joey Diaz and all these guys went on Vero, and it, like, popped for a little bit. And then it came out that it was owned by, like, the Chinese government or the Russian government or something, and then it just disappeared.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't know, what is Parler and Rumble actually here to stay? I don't know. Like, I will say this is the longest social media has, I mean, not that it's even existed for that long, but these are the longest running social media companies that haven't turned over. So like, at first it was, in the 90s, it was Friendster. Then in the early 2000s, it was MySpace. And then after MySpace in the 2010s, it was Facebook. And now Facebook's just kind of held on. You know, like, typically, like, since the internet in the 80s, there's been everywhere between like 7 to 12 years or so, there's been like the new next thing. But Facebook has held on. And it looks like they're here to stay. You know, so I don't know. I don't remember any other video service before.
Vine.
No, like as like a YouTube comparison.
Vimeo, but
I mean, yeah. Well, Vimeo is still around.
Yeah.
But I don't remember like what was pre-YouTube.
B-Bombs World.
Yeah. So you know, it's like little things like that where like I don't know. It's just weird. Where obviously it's an unprecedented time. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fucking term.
Yeah. You want to start wrapping this up? Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Before we wrap this up, thanks to MyBookie. MyBookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod. Doubles your deposit up to $1,000 and gets you a $20 free play. So while we were ranting and raving, maybe MyBookie should have a bet on when the world is going to end or when there's going to be a civil war.
Hopefully tomorrow.
So yeah, maybe, hey, MyBookie, if you're listening, add will there be a civil war in 2021? You'll definitely get some bets on that. And when you guys want to bet on that, like I said, use our promo code SarcasmSpeaksPod. Sarcasm Pod, Jesus Christ. Sarcasm Pod, it doubles your deposit. And then you can put it all on Civil War, yes. Bet it all on yes. So yeah, now we can wrap this up.
So I'm going to borrow a final thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so Michaela texted me, and she believes there's a connection between adults that are Disney obsessed and those who decorate for Christmas entirely too early.
Oh, 100%.
And my point is they're both just like the worst types of people. Like I cannot get behind an adult being obsessed with Disney. Like, not for their kids.
Yeah.
Because everyone that I've ever talked to goes, Disney is hell. Disney is fucking hell. It's incredibly expensive. All you do is wait in lines. It's hard
you mean the park, like the theme
Well,
park?
it's like well that's the going to Disney part.
Right.
Like, going to Disney sucks.
Yeah.
The movies and shit, fine, but there's something fucked up about like the people who just like encompass their life.
Yeah, no, that's super weird. Like the people that go to Disney as an adult without children, really,
There's something fucking weird.
that creeps me out. Like there is no reason why, as an adult, you should be at Disney without a child.
There's got to be a billion better destinations.
Yeah. Like you go to
That
Disney
won't
for the
cost
kids.
you $10
And now that's the thing. If you happen to be an adult that enjoys going to Disney, well, I hope you would go with children.
Yes.
Like I hope you wouldn't just go.
Like,
know
if you
what I
don't mind, like if you like Disney, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But don't go by yourself.
You gotta go with kids. You gotta go with kids, or else
'Cause it's just
something
creepy.
fucking fucked up.
It's creepy.
I guess I'll give the pass to like very old people
Yeah.
who are like, you know, close to dying and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, this is something that we used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, you know,
Yeah.
once a year we'll go and we're gonna die in 3 anyway. So
Yeah.
like, I'll give a special pass to that.
Yeah.
But if you're like 35 and you go to Disney without kids, or even like 28.
Yeah. Well, because the issue there is Disney caters to children.
Yeah.
It's not like like Universal Studios has other stuff. Like me personally, like it has Harry Potter World is in Universal, so that's a huge draw for people, like, and adults. What's another? Is Epcot its own park?
I think so.
That
That's
has
the one,
shit.
like you can drink.
You can drink around the world, catered to adults.
Yeah.
Like I said, Universal has shit for adults. SeaWorld, I don't know. I couldn't care less about SeaWorld. I don't know what other parks are there. MGM, is that a park?
Is SeaWorld?
Did they close?
Is that in California?
No,
Or is that
it's
in Florida?
It's in Florida.
That one's in Florida?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They might also have a SeaWorld in California.
Where was Shamu?
I don't know. I know there for a fact there's one in Florida, because I went there when I was a kid.
I'm looking up Shamu.
There could have been one in San Diego too. I feel
That's kind of where I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, SeaWorld San Diego.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's 2.
There is.
Oh no, there's a million Shamus. This one was only alive for 6 years.
Well, yeah, because they keep them in captivity and they fucking just die because they get depressed. Their fucking flippers get all floppy. The dorsal fin.
I just remember yeah, whatever. Oh, there's like a bunch of SeaWorlds.
Yeah, no, I told you. I went to the one in Florida when I was a kid. So I don't know what else is there. But all these other ones are like catered to adults and children. Disney is specifically catered to children.
Yeah, and then like some people have like Disney themed weddings.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking weird.
That's weird.
That's fucking fucked up.
That's weird.
I don't know. There's just something. It's just something about it. And then the people who decorate for Christmas. First of all, you're celebrating the wrong holiday.
Yeah, it's Festivus.
It's Festivus. Which, if we're under lockdown and Festivus which we won't be because Biden won't be president yet.
Yeah.
Festivus, I would absolutely be protesting.
Yep.
My right to celebrate Festivus.
Yeah.
It's religion.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it's like people who want to like get Christmas going like already. Fuck off. Like I've seen a couple places with.
That's an interesting point.
Lights already out.
They might be able to cancel Thanksgiving, but I don't think they can cancel Christmas because it's religion based.
Yep.
And that is 1,000% an infringement on the celebration of religion, the practice of religion.
Yep.
Loopholes.
Well, it's amazing. It's just like it goes back to the fucking logic of it. So if they cancel Thanksgiving, but but they can't cancel Christmas because of religion. What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
Because I'll already tell you, if you still think this is about keeping people healthy, it's not.
No.
And if you genuinely think that, you're a fucking asshole. It's all political. What's happening now is all political.
There hasn't been one piece of news since March. This is a astronomical amount of time for the news to be on between March 16th and November 18th. Not once has any news outlet said, well, in order to make yourself healthier, you should supplement with vitamin D. You should
take vitamin D supplements. You should
exercise. Get outside and walk around.
Stop eating like shit.
Exactly. Not one news outlet has said that in 9 months.
I've also heard anecdotally, again, no research based, those that are in better shape tend to suffer from less severe symptoms.
Yeah, which just makes sense. If you have someone that's healthy and they get sick, it's typically the sniffles and they're sick for like a day or two and then they're better. You have someone that's sick normally, they get a cold, well, they might be sick for a week.
Yep.
Like it's common sense here. Like people, common sense isn't so common, but it's like people just forgot that like there was life before this and that like shit like this happens.
Yep.
Like people like last year, let's go last year, 2019. Someone gets sick who's healthy, what would you say? Better in a couple days, right?
Yep.
Someone gets sick who's unhealthy, probably gonna have a tough time kicking it. Yeah. So why did we forget that from a year ago to now? Like this is something different.
Because we'll just fucking listen.
Because people are fucking idiots. That's why.
Everyone just listens.
And I hate.
Oh,
everybody.
Someone told me this was bad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I can get down with that. The people that like to go to Disney by themselves without kids are weird.
Yeah, and anyone who's fucking got Christmas decorations up now, you're a fucking asshole too. Seriously, it's not even Thanksgiving.
It's not Thanksgiving.
And even regardless of if it gets canceled or not.
Yeah.
The Friday after Thanksgiving, go nuts.
Yeah. So my final thought is thanks to Elon Musk, we have had our first private-owned company send a space capsule into space. So the SpaceX Crew Dragon has successfully docked to the International Space Station at 11:01 p.m. on Monday. They launched a couple days ago, and then this past Monday they made it to the space station they're on. And this is great because we're one step closer to getting to Mars. Before we get to Mars, we have to go back to the moon, which I think is hilarious because we went to the moon in the 60s.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yep.
And that was 60 years ago.
Yep.
Now you think about like the technology we had then, and if nothing else, like we didn't have the internet. Think about like what TVs looked like back then, not just like the picture on the screen, but like the actual television set.
Fish tanks.
It was a fish tank, yeah. And compared to what we have now. So technology has come a long way in 60 years. We haven't been able to get back to the moon since then, but we did it in the 60s, allegedly. And
your tinfoil hat.
And now we want to get to Mars, but everyone is saying, well, before we go to Mars, we have to get back to the moon just to see if we can, make the long journey. Okay, well, we have to get back to the moon, right? It's taken us 60 years to get back to the moon, but we definitely did it in the 60s, allegedly. And eventually we're going to go to Mars. And I am saying, if the world does not change in the next however many years, and we're looking for volunteers to go to Mars, sign me up. Sign me up. I'll go. I'm out. See you later. If I can't go to Texas, because Texas doesn't exist anymore, because the country fell apart.
I don't think the planet will exist anymore.
I'm down to go to Mars.
By the time I think we're ready to go to Mars, people are going to be too stupid, and that's going to be it. It's going to be a wrap.
Yeah.
On humanity.
Yeah.
Like, the aliens are just going to be like, yeah, this thing's spent. We're just going to douse it in kerosene and light it on fire.
Turn it into Venus. That's actually how Venus was created.
Someone dumped a bunch of kerosene
Yeah,
and lit it on fire.
the aliens were like, "Yo, these guys fucked up. Let's hit the reset button." They plucked a man and a woman who was Adam and Eve, and they dropped them on Earth, and they said, "Let's restart this thing again." And fuck Venus.
So
It's
the
just a
aliens
ball
are
of
the fault
flames.
for this.
Yeah.
So maybe they aren't so smart.
Yeah, no.
They did this.
They did. We're like the planetarium thing. We're like the toy of the aliens.
What we really need is the Death Star to fucking blow this thing up.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. One of these days we're gonna look and see like 2 moons. And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, look, it's the second moon." I'm like, "Nah, bitch, it's the Death Star.
Death Star.
Right here." I'll go out in the front yard, start waving my arms. Right here. We're over here.
Start taunting them.
Yeah.
But I
Put
bet
up a
that's
sign.
not even strong enough to blow us up.
Put up a giant sign on the roof. Fuck you, you won't.
That laser looks awfully weak.
Yeah.
I bet you can't even blow up this planet.
So yeah, that's my deal. That's my spiel. They want SpaceX has done it. They're back on a private company has done what the government has done, and they also did it for like half the cost too.
Oh
So-
wow, that's so weird.
Yeah, when SpaceX, weird. Government is incapable of doing things.
Inefficient and fucking.
But you know what? We should definitely give them more power. Yeah, that's right. They can't do anything. They're super inefficient. Let's give them more power. That'll help. So yeah, sign me up. SpaceX right here. I'll go to Mars. Get me out of here. I'm done. I've had a good, not great run.
Yeah, good, not great.
All right, so that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button, and also keep telling everybody about the show. And click the like button, the thumbs up, if you're on YouTube. It helps us. The thumbs up and the subscribers get us to more eyeballs, which then theoretically would get us more subscribers, which, you know, it's a positive feedback loop there. So subscribe wherever you are too. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, leave us a 5-star, and write something too. You can write something funny, or you could just literally say, "I'm here because you told me to." That works too. They don't actually scan the content of the review, but they look at the amount of interaction that people have. So the more interaction you have, the more people will see it, and so on and so forth. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_Speaks. Our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. If you happen to be on Parler and Rumble, we are now on there too as Sarcasm Speaks. I think that's it. Until next time. Good night, everybody.